Good morning to all. I'm Dr. Janardhana Rao. Today my topic is a file system interface in the operating systems. So, in this concept, we will learn a concept of file access methods, direct disk structure, disk attachment, directory structure, file system mounting, file sharing, production, file system structure. All related to file system, we will learn all the things. So, how the file is saved, and what is the hard disk, and what is inside the hard disk, how this the data is saved in the hard disk, and disk scheduling, disk management, swap space management, dynamic memory allocation, basic concepts, library functions, and we will learn all these things in this lecture. So, what is a file? The concept of file. File is a collection of correlated information which is recorded on secondary or non-volatile storage like magnetic disks, optical disks, and tapes. So, basically, the OS will treat any program you want to save, any document you want to save in the hard disk, that will consider as a complete file. A file, that is a file. The file is a collection of correlated information which is recorded and secondary or non-volatile storage like magnetic disk. Because whenever you want to save anything, we will save in the hard disk. So that will be saved in the basically hard disk is maybe magnetics or optical disk or tapes. So that's how the hard disk is made up of. So it is a method of data collection that is used as a medium for giving input and receiving output from the program. The file is a sequence of bits. Basically, this is important. Basically, the file is a sequence of bits, bytes or records, whose meaning is defined by the file creator and user. So every file has this logical location where they are located or saved for storage and retrieval. So here, one thing you have to understand. So see, this is a basic concept. The file is a bits, bytes, or records. So whenever we want to save in the computer will understand only zeros and bits. Once you want to save in the system, so that will be converted into bits. The sense, so whatever you write a program or write any program on the screen, so let it be a Java program or a C program or anything, any program. Once you want to save this, whatever appears on the screen, English, and int A, int B, int C, some instructions. So once you want to save this one, that should be converted into zeros and ones. Otherwise, you cannot save it, because basically you should have one thing in mind. This is our hard disk. In the hard disk, there will be 8 bits will be there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 bits means 8 transistors. So we can store data like this. So 8 bits means bit 1 means 1 MSB. 1 means this transistor on, and this is on, this is off, this is on like this. So now 8 bits is stored here. This is the meaning of this one. The file is a sequence of bits. So once whichever file you want to save in the system, that should be converted into, first of all, bits and bits. That's bits. So that's the important. That is the meaning of this one. So whichever file you want to save in the system, that will be converted into, first of all, zeros and ones. That's the meaning. So we will convert the system. In the system, there are some programs. These programs will convert your data, whatever data you want to save, that will be converted into zeros and ones. So now that first 8 bits will be stored in the first line, second 8 bits will be stored in the second line. Like this, the data will be saved in the hard disk. That's the basic thing you must have in your mind. How your file is saved in the system or is saved in the hard disk. Hard disk is a basically, maybe nowadays we are using SSDs, solid state devices. And earlier we used to have hard disk consist of some number of CDs, magnetic disks and all. So we'll see further what is going on in this one. So what is a file? First of all, a file can be defined as a data structure which stores the sequence of records. Files are stored in a file system which may exist on a disk or in the main memory. So files can be simple, plain text or complex, specially formatted. The collection of files is known as directory. The collection of directories are at different levels known as a file. Again is a file. The collection of files is a directory. The files can be simple, or the collection of files is known as a directory. The collection of directories at a different levels is known as a file system. This is the thing. So if you look at this one, data, inside the data files, data will be there. This is data. So number of times under the directory we'll put some number of files. That is our directory. So directories are arranged in a systematic way. So this is nothing but the file system. How data is saved in the file, how the files are arranged in a directory, how the directories are arranged in a system. The file that is called for a complete file system. The file system is consist of these four steps. First, data, files, directory, file system. So what are the attributes of a file? So whenever we want to save, whenever you want to save any document or a file in the computer, so the computer will consider it as a file or anything. It is a program or a document or a text document or any MP4, MP3, anything. Whatever you want to save in the system, the computer will consider it as a file. So how it is saving? That we will see. Already I explained now. It will be converted into, first of all, zeros and ones, and zeros and ones will be written in the hard disk. First 8 bits will be the first line, second 8 bits. Like this, the data will be saved. That is written in the hard disk. So what are the attributes of the file system? The file. Once you want to save a file, the computer will ask you what is the name of the file you want to save. So the attributes of the file system is any file. It will have some attributes. The first attribute is name. What is the name? Name of the file. Every file carries a name by which the file is recognized in the file system. One directory cannot have two files with the same name. So as you see in the example, so once you save one file in the Windows or any system, so it will ask the time. It will ask the name of the file first time. So what is the name of file you want to save as? So we have to give the name. Automatically that is saved in the hard disk. You will get the icon also on the screen. After some time in the sense, you want to save another file with the same name, it won't accept, because no two files the same name will accept by the OS. That's the meaning of this one. Every file carries a specific name by which the file is recognized in the file system. One directory cannot have two files with the same name. That's what it is. OS will not accept one file with two names. So that is the file name. That is the importance of the file name. So what is identifier? Identifier, along with the name, each file has its own extension which identifies the type of the file. For example, the file has the extension .txt, txt text file. Video file can have the extension of MP4, document, doc. Suppose it is PDF. So like this, that is identification of the file. That is identifier. Any file, once you are saving in the system, it requires the identifier along with the name. That is the extension to the name. So suppose file name is xyz.c, that's C file. xyz.abc.doc, that is document file. Some Selsan.pdf, that is PDF, that file name is Selsan, and extension is PDF. And next you'll see what is the type. In a file system, the files are classified in different types such as video files, audio files, text files, executable files, .exe, that is executable means .exe files, etc. This is type of the file. Location. In the system, in the file system, there are several locations on which the files can be stored. Each file carries its location in the as its attribute. There will be location. The ones physically you are saving the file in the system. So that is the location on which the files can be saved. That is the location. So size. So whenever you want to save the file in the system, so that size, what is the size of that file? The size of the file is not one of its most important attribute. By size of the file, we mean the number of bytes required by the file in the memory. Suppose we write one program. This is a 10 KB file, 10 KB. You will see, you can check that file by using the properties. You can see what is the size of this file of the program. So that is the size. So the size of the file is one of its most important attribute. By size of the file, we mean that number of bytes acquired by the file in the memory. So because this is 10 KB means each line is 8 bits, 8 bits, 8 bits, 8 bits, 8 bits. The 1000 lines, 1 KB, like this. Another 1000 lines, another KB. 10 KB means 10,000 lines, 10,000 bytes, 10,000 bytes saved in a file. That is called size of that file. Size of the file. And so at the same time, once you save one file and it requires a protection. Protection means, that is authorization. Nobody else should open that file, your file. So that is protection. The admin of the computer may want the different protections for the different files. Therefore, each file carries its own set of permissions to the different group of users. Once you develop one program, you save in the system in your absence. If somebody else want to open that file and do some modifications, that is not permitted. That's called security. So the computer system, the OS will provide the security also. So there will be one password. So without that password, other users cannot open that one. So once you give permission public, so everybody can open that file. That's what is the meaning of the protection. So next, another one is time, date, and user identification. So yeah, at what time you created, in the sense at what time you saved the file in the system. That is time, when you created and what date, and user identification. The information may be kept for the creation, last modification, and last use. This data can be useful for protection, security, and usage monitoring. So suppose particular file, how many times you opened or opened by somebody else. Once you give the public, so you can see how many times the file is opened, what is the last opening file, time and date also you can see from this data. So that's what it is keep on maintained by OS. So when the program is created, when the created in the sense when the program is saved in the hard disk. So date, time, and these are the attributes of the file. So by monitoring this one, you can very well see what is when who has opened and which system it is opened. Everything will get, but it is maintained by the OS. So that is the attributes of the file. At the same time, we will see what is the operations on the file. A file is a collection of logically related data that is recorded on the secondary storage in the form of sequence of operations. So the content of the files are defined by its creator, who is creating a file. The various operations which can be implemented in a file, such as read operation, write operation, open and close, etc., are called file operations. Once you create a file, you wrote a program or document, anything, once you save, that is called creating a file. So after that is creating as good as writing a file. You can do modifications and save it, and you can open it and close it, and at the same time you can delete also. That is also operation on the files. These are the basic operations in the file: creation, read operation, open operation, close operation, delete operation, and you can do modification also. These are the all file operations. These operations are performed by the user by using the commands provided by the commands provided. There will be some certain procedure will be there. So some common operations as follows. Just what we have seen: the creation, read operation, write operation. What is going on? So create operation. This operation is used to create a file in the file system. So once you save it, where you are saving that, where you are writing the hard disk. Because this is your hard disk. This is your hard disk. Very big, big memory. C drive, D drive, U drive. This is a hard disk, and where you are saving. This operation is used to create a file. This is a file system. So you have saved this file in the D drive, and at the same time, at the end of the your hard disk, there will be file blocks will be there, and recording this file, the name and which location the file is saved. So everything is saved in the file blocks. That's what. Once the file is created by the user, automatically that is written in the hard disk. Where it is written, so each line is having address, because as we have seen in the previous classes, so there will be 8 bits in one line. So like this, the hard disk will have number of lines, 1 million lines, 1 million. So each line is 1 byte, like this, byte, second byte, third byte, fourth byte, like this. So each line is addressable. Each line is addressable, and we are saving this data line by line, 8 bits by 8 bits. So very well we can understand which line our data is available. So this what in the file system. Once you save in the file system, once you saved any program in the system, so automatically that will be written, converted into zeros and ones, and zeros ones will will be saved in the first line and second line. Like this, each line 8 bits will be saved, keep on saved. So it is the most widely used operation performed on the file system to create a new file of a particular type of associated application. The program calls the file system. This file system allocates space to the file as the file system knows the format of directory structure. So the entry of this new file is made into the appropriate directory, because once, as I told, this is our hard disk and we have saved the file somewhere in C drive, D drive. So in the end of this hard disk, there will be space for the files, and there will be directory structure will be there. So like this, like this. So file number, like this, it is saved in the structure, like this. This is nothing but indexing block, file indexing. So it will record everything. What is the file type, and what is the time, what is who is the other. So what are the permissions, file permissions, what is how many times the file will keep on opening. Everything is recorded in the file blocks. So that you have to understand. So to create a new file, a particular type of associated application program calls the file system. This file system allocates space to the file, the hard disk, as the file system knows the format of directory structure. So in the directory structure, the file name will be placed. That's so entry of this new file is made into the appropriate directory. So that's called file creation. Once file is created, once file is saved, then automatically regarding the file, everything is saved there in the file blocks. At the same time, the file icon is also created and it is shown, exhibited on the screen. That's what file creation. So open operation means once a file is created means write operation is done. Once file is created, with the user, what the user will do, user simply write a program and he will enter save as. That's it. He will not do anything else. Rest of the things will be done by the OS only. The OS, what it does, it will first of all convert it to zeros and ones, and zeros and ones will be saved in the hard disk line by line. So that's nothing entering in the sense, that is writing the data in the hard disk, writing the data in the hard disk in the transistors line by line. So 1 0. This is only very simple fundamental. So you must have an idea how data is right. Once you are saving means you are writing the data in the hard disk. That's it. So after writing the data, that save operation is completed. Once the save operation is completed, now the data available in the hard disk now. The next operation you want to read, you have to open and read. So this operation is a common operation performed on the file. Once the file is created, in the sense a file is created means file is saved, created, it must be opened before performing the file processing operations. When the user wants to open a file, it provides a file name to open the particular file in the file system. It tells the operating system to invoke the open system call and passes the file name to the file system. So in this regard, we will have a detailed understanding. So see, you write one C program or Java program or any document. Wow, the user will, after writing this program, this number of lines are there, some 100 lines program is there. So after this, you will simply press it save as. Once you pressing save as, so it will ask the name. So once you give the name xyz.c, so that much only the user will do. So rest of things will be done with the kernel or your system calls. So once you press the save, automatically it will invoke the write system call in the kernel. What it does, by this time this is already converted into zeros and ones, your program, at the time of compiling. So now the write system call will write this data into the hard disk. Hard disk, each line 8 bits. So this 8 bits will be transferred here. In the sense 8 transistors will be there. So as for this data, the transistor will be on and off. This is nothing but a write system call. Once you are doing the save means write system call is coming into action. The write system call will come into action. It will write the data in the hard disk, that is your semiconductor memory. So that's what you have to understand. That is write system call will invoke that one at the time of the save. So at the same time of the opening, at the time of the opening means you have opened the file. After opening the file, that is located the file in the hard disk, and now read system call will come into action. The read system call will read the data line by line from the hard disk. So at the time of the writing, it will transistor off on like this. It is written the 8 bits. So in the reverse, once it is reading, it will read this transistor status and it will convert back restructuring into your original data ABC. So as you know that how it is converted into zeros and ones in the reverse process, it will convert into alphabets, and now that is visible, or it will restructure the data into characters and it will show on the screen. That is called open operation, read operation, read system call. This operation is a common operation performed on the file. Once the file is created, it must be opened before performing the file processing operation. When the user wants to open a file, it provides a file name, because file name is must file name. To open a particular file in the file system, it tells the operating system to invoke the open system call and passes the file name to the file system. So write operation, as we discussed now, write operation. So once the file name is given, then this operation is used to write the information into file. A system called write is used that specifies the name of the file and the length of the data has to be written to the file. Whenever the file is increased by specified value and the file pointer is repositioned after the last byte of return. So now I explained that what is write operation. So because your data is converted to zeros and ones, now zeros and ones will be written in the hard disk, because hard disk is your semiconductor, each line 8 bits, 8 transistors. Now whatever data converted to zeros and ones, these zeros and ones are written in the semiconductor memory. So that is write operation. So after write operation, that save is done. First we have to open a file, either create a file, open a file. After opening file, you have to write, the file is created, space is created. In that space, you have to write the data. That is called write operation. After write operation, we'll go for the read operation. What is read operation? Read operation means once file is opened, you want to read, you want to retrieve the data. Wow, you want to see the data, what is stored in your file. So what we do, once the file is created, then automatically will get a icon in the screen. So once the icon is there, means you can double click. Once you are double clicking you on that particular file, it means that you want to see that file, you want to open that file. So automatically the OS will understand, oh, the user wants this file to be opened. So open in the sense, after opening, it will retrieve the data from the physical position to the screen. That's what it is. This operation reads the contents from a file. A read pointer is maintained by the OS, pointing to the position up to which the data is to be read. Because already now it is written in the hard disk. The data is written in the hard disk in the zeros and one form. So it will be restructured back and reconverted back to the alphabetical characters. So that will be read there. Read the operation. Read operation will come into action and it will read the data from the hard disk to the screen. So reposition or seek operation. What is a reposition or seek operation? It means that the seek system called repositions the file pointers from the current position to a specific place in the file. That is forward or backward depending upon the user's requirement. This operation is generally performed with those file management systems that support the direct access file. So as we see, so seek position or seek operation means this is your file. The file is written in the hard disk, and which line the read head should be positioned so that you can read data from that particular line. That is reposition or seek operations. So that's what the file operations, and we'll see. So delete operations. Once file is created and some memory is allotted to this file in the hard disk. Once you delete that file, so automatically whatever data written in the semiconductor memory, that will be made zeros. In the sense, once the file is written, means in 8 transistors. If it is 1 means transistor on like this, it is written there. Once you delete means every transistor will be switched off. In the sense, zeros. So that is formatted. That particular place in the hard disk, it will be 0. So that is delete operation. Deleting the file will not only delete all the data stored inside the file, it is also used so that disk space occupied by it is freed. In the sense, no more data will be there, because the transistors, how the position is set, 1, 2, 1, 0 and all. So that will be null and void, because all transistors will come to 0's position. This means whatever data you saved in the hard disk, that will be deleted. That is deleted in the sense transistor will be there, but the position will be changed from 1 to 0, 0 to 0 as it is. So now whatever file you have saved in the hard disk, that will be made deleted. So the delete the specified file, the directory is searched. When the directory's entry is located, all the associated files specified that in directory entry is also released. Once you delete the file from the hard disk, means whatever the information about that file is stored in the directory, that also deleted once for all. So that's called delete operation. Delete operation will be deleted from the hard disk once for all. That's called delete operation. So truncated operation. This is another operation on the file. So truncating is simply deleting the file except deleting attributes, because even some of the times you will come to know file is deleted, but some of the attributes are still available in the directory. That's called truncating. Truncating is simply deleting the file. A file is deleted from the hard disk, but its relevant attributes, attributes in the sense size, name and all these things, that is not still at the directory level. The file is not completely deleted through the information stored inside the file gets replaced. Or that some of the information is still available in the directory about that file. So that's called truncating operation. the close operations. Once the file is opened by anybody, after once they read operation or modifying the file, after completion of this any operation, whatever you want to do in the file, after that one, that should be closed. That close operation. Even you don't close the system, the OS will close it. So when you switch off the system, or you want to switch on, come out of the system, so it will ask you want to save or you want to close the file. The file closing is an important job. That is the thing. When the process of the file is completed, it should be closed so that all the changes made from permanent and all the resources occupied be released. On closing it, closing. It deallocates all internal descriptors that were created. The file was opened. So once OS taking care of all these things, then one file is open, closed. So whatever the OS is taking actions, and that everything will be released. The whatever resources working on that one, that will be released. That is called file closing operation. So append operation. So this operation adds data to the end of the file. That is where copy paste you are doing something. So you want to add some data at the end of the file. That is called the operation adds data to the end of the file. And so after another operation is rename operations. That is we know that Windows very well. So we right click and you can replace or rename the file whatever you have given earlier. So that's called rename operation. So this operation is used to rename the existing file. Already existing file is there, you already give the name and name is given. So after giving the name also we can change the name. That is rename existing file. We can rename the file. That is called rename. So we'll see. So what are the file types? There are a large number of file types such as a particular purpose. The type of a file indicates its use, content, etc. Some of the types are media files. That is MP4, the media files store media data such as images, audio, icons, videos, etc. Common extension, for images, MP3, image files, JPEG, and MP3, MP4, PNG, FLAC, etc. So programs, these files store code, that is with extension of the file. So some .c, .java, .xml, .cpp, .css, .js, .ts, Python, SQL files, etc. These are the program files and media files. So we'll see rest of the concept in the next class. So operating system levels and document, miscellaneous, everything. So this is an operating system level .exe files, shell files. So these files are present with the OS for its internal use. Common extensions like bin file, as a shell file, batch files, dynamic link, dynamic library, etc. These are the extensions. And then documents. These files are used for managing file that ever doc operations, Excel operation, docx, PDF, PPT, etc. These are document type extensions. So miscellaneous generic text files, .txt, canvas files, proprietary files, etc. These are the files. So this is a table we can see for executable files. We will use the .exe and bin files like this. We can see this one object files .obj. This compiled file, machine language, not linked. So source code C.C, C, Java, parallel and assembly language, source code in various languages. So batch files, batch and SS shell files, commands to the command interpreter. So markup files, XML, HTML for web designing and all. We'll use it. Textual data. We'll give the extension .xml, .html. So that's the word processor .xml, RTF rich text file, docx, and various file word processor formats. So library files, DLL and your A and library functions, libraries of routines for programmers. Print of our view. So JF and PDF, JPG. So ASCII or binary files in a format for printing of viewing. So next is your archive. RAR, zip files. The extension is RAR and zip. So related to files grouped into one file, sometimes compressed for archiving or storage, compressed files, zip and all. So next, multimedia. That's already seen MP3, MP4, AVI, MPEG, MOV, binary for converting audio to AV information. So this is our concept of file. Then file structure and all we'll see in the next session.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.